What can I do if any of my kids were strong? Well, let's just say if one of them is stubborn, what can I do?
Nothing really helps. Staying in your Bible, having that faith, knowing that everything does happen for a reason. It's not a reason you may understand, and it's not for you to question. Corinthia?
Nice to meet you. Thank you. It's a pretty name.
Thank you.
Very unique. Where's your name from?
My mom, she chose it from the Bible, Corinthians.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So I like to ask all my people I meet. I've got 3 kids. So I always like to ask wisdom from them. So what are a few wisdom? It could be parenting, it could be faith, it could be work, it could be relationship, anything, any wisdoms that you can share that I can pass down or realize.
Oh wow, that's loaded.
That's loaded?
Yeah, it's
I'm sorry. Or what's carried you up to this point? What are the great wisdoms you've learned from people or from your parents or from any?
Oh, I didn't know there was hi. Oh my goodness, how are you? Oh, from my parents,
Or anyone in general.
I would have to say one thing I learned a little bit too late, but my family did tell me beforehand. The person that you marry and have kids with, those are 2 of the biggest decisions of your life.
Okay.
And it can either be a nightmare or heaven. So you have to make sure that you vet properly.
Okay. So you learned it late in life.
I learned it later. Well,
So why'd you what's the so the source is your parents,
right.
and so what may have made it later then? Like why do you think you learned it? You said you learned it later.
Yes, because I was married young. So I was married to my high school sweetheart at 19.
Okay.
And I don't think at 19 you don't know what you're doing at 19. So you don't have the wisdom of a relationship at 19. Well, I didn't. And marriage. And you don't think about, okay, do you guys share the same faith? Do you share the same beliefs as far as finances, raising kids? So we didn't talk about all of that. And that was kind of a big issue because we didn't have the same stances on a lot of things.
Okay.
And had we had taken the time to get to know each other more, waited a few more years and vetted, we would have come to that conclusion.
I see.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we got married young. I was 19 and he was 20.
Did your parents try to at least tell you to pause and
They did.
say, you know what, go through this checkpoints first?
They did. So
Okay.
pretty much everybody told me. But if you're stubborn, which I was, then it doesn't matter where it's coming from if you already have your mind made up. So I guess that's another piece of wisdom. Be open to different perspectives and point of views so you can consider everything before you make a decision. Because stubbornness, it's good if it's with the right things. But if you're tenacious with the wrong things, you can find yourself in a lot of trouble.
Do you think you sparred enough with your parents to have that dialogue, to have that back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it wasn't that I wasn't told. It was just at that time I had already made my mind up. I was very stubborn.
Okay.
And I didn't heed the advice. So that was just a decision that I made. But they did. I was well aware
As well.
of everything.
Okay.
So I didn't go into it blindly. They did give me warnings.
Yeah, I've got 3 girls, so I'm just trying to figure out, my goal with them is to question everything and seek everything, even question me and find the source, find the wisdom, find the truth, not through me, but through his word.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. And my mom was very into the Bible, so she did tell me things in relation to that as well. I think that's another thing. If you're not on the same path as far as faith, that is a huge issue in a relationship.
So you say you were stubborn. What can I do if any of my kids were strong? Well, let's just say if one of them is stubborn, what can I do to soften that?
I think more so than just telling your child, okay, this is not the right decision. Ask them, have you thought about this? Ask them, what are your thoughts on this? Have you considered this? What brought you to this conclusion? So a lot of times if you ask if you ask them questions so they can ask themselves those questions, then they'll start to unravel things and come to a different conclusion. But if you just say,
Okay.
don't do this, don't do this, don't do that.
So you're thinking your parent during that time, did they do that to you?
Yeah, it was more so, don't do this. I don't think this is the right person for you.
But they didn't question. They didn't have you think on your.
Yeah,
They
it
kind. They
wasn't.
were prescribing versus
Yeah, it
getting
wasn't
you to.
so much, and it wasn't their fault. It wasn't,
Sure.
but it wasn't so much. Have you thought about this? You guys have the same faith. Do you guys have you seen him, angry? Has he seen you angry? How do you handle conflict? So just asking specific questions. Because if I was asked those questions, I think I would have paused and said, you know what, I don't know how he handles this, or we've never been in this situation where we've had to handle this. So it would cause you to kind of reflect and ask questions. So I think that's a better way to handle it, instead of just no, just have them ask the question. Say, have you thought about this? Or what do you think about this? And that gives them kind of the space to think on their own and make better decisions because they've considered more.
Okay. That's good. Appreciate that. That's good. Do you have siblings?
I do. I have one, an older sister.
Older sister?
Yeah. But I think too, as far as kids with my mom, I'm more introverted. So as a kid, she didn't kind of push me to be, at the time when I was a kid, we didn't know about introversion and extroversion.
Sure.
But she didn't push me to be something I wasn't. She was more accepting of who I was. So when I wanted to talk, I would. When I didn't,
she didn't try to flex. She didn't try to work out that muscle.
Yeah. So she
Well, I guess that's what I meant when, like, what kind of sparring sessions did y'all have? Did she try to work out? Did your parents try to work out different parts of the muscles, spiritually, mentally, physically? Like everything you've told me, did they do stuff like that? That's what I meant by.
Yeah. Yes. So with that, she gave me the space to be myself, and I think that's a huge factor with children. Not trying to mold them into something that you want them to be, but give them the freedom to be their authentic self. In doing that, then when they grow up, they'll be more confident in the world. They'll be, they won't be looking to, different things, different people to try to validate, because they were in an environment where they were free to be who they were. So I think that's.
They had a lot of Jiu Jitsu sessions. First thing. Well, that's what I'm trying to get my kids to do is, like, man, just fail around me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in a controlled environment. Yeah.
Yeah, fail around me, because at least I'll be your. They're right now. They're inside the castle, and I'm surround them with the moat, with the family, friends, the church, the therapists, and those are your moat. Those are what keeps the enemies away.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're in there sparring and playing swords and practicing, and when they're ready to go out, lower the gates and go out to these spiritual battles. That's what I envision as far as equipping them right now through through many sparring sessions, I hope, because it's tough out here.
Yeah, it is it's a lot of mental warfare too. So my mom, she did tell me about that as well, that a lot of times things that you handle, it's more mental. It's good to have your faith. It's good to pray every day. It's good to read your Bible and have that relationship with God. So I do that, and that's helped me a lot, because my mom, she passed, and that was a very difficult time. And the only way that I got through that was, of course, I had some people around me, but when someone passes, no one knows what to say, and if they did, nothing really helps. Staying in your Bible, having that faith, knowing that everything does happen for a reason. It's not a reason you may understand, and it's not for you to question, but there is a reason.
When did she change the dress? When did your mom change the dress?
2023.
2023.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting having conversations with people that are supposed to be believers, because they don't know what to say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, they tell you, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. I heard that a lot. Or, God needed an angel, which that's not true.
Yeah, we don't convert to an angel.
Yeah. So a lot of it was, and I don't hold anything against anyone because everyone is trying to comfort you in their own way, and
Sure.
it sounds good.
Well, but even from my challenge with Christians is, why do you say, did you not know we don't convert to an angel?
Yeah, I mean, but at the time when people say that, you also need to give people grace too,
Sure.
because maybe they don't share the same faith, or maybe they, just heard that saying or that cliche,
Yeah.
and it sounds good. It's not true, but it sounds good, and a lot of times people just go to things that they've heard that they think may help or make people feel better, and a lot of times what I heard or what people told me, it did not help. Even going to therapist, it seemed like when I was going to the therapist, it was more so not about trying to unravel and deal with the grief and the stages of grief. It seemed like they were trying to say something profound. So I was like, you know what, that's not for me. It's not for me. I just
Well, it's even with believers. When I say believers, it's like, well, I'm sorry, but with the people that I haven't talked in a while, they'll tell you, I'm sorry. And yes, give them grace. But I'm just thinking to myself, if you believe in Jesus, then shouldn't we be celebrating?
Yeah.
Because there is an address that we get to go to.
Yes.
And we shouldn't be sorry
Yeah. Yeah.
for that.
Right.
But the common posture is, I'm sorry, telling you a lot of different verbiage to, it's unfortunate that that's what the common believer is taught.
Yeah. My mom had cancer, and I was there until I was holding her hand until her last breath.
We get to celebrate. If this is something we truly believe in,
Right.
then
That's true.
we can use it as a testimony to point them to something that we cannot see.